tyrant desert boss, and it even had 2 crowd skills. Lin immediately backs off because the sentry post guardian roars loudly. Even the ground around it gets destroyed. Lin says, "I can't let it move freely with such high agility points." He uses the slow curse skill on the guardian dragon, tying it with curse chains and preventing its movement. Then all the skeleton warriors and mages attack it with their full power. Smoke is everywhere, making it barely visible, so Lin can't see if he managed to heavily injure the boss. In that smoke, 2 red eyes appear, and the guardian dragon, unscathed but angry, uses its buff resistance skill, destroying Lin's slow curse skill. The situation in battle is not good, as the slow curse is losing effect. The guardian dragon uses this opportunity to employ its crowd attack, destroying 4 skeleton warriors. Next, the guardian dragon uses the crowd stun skill, confusing and stunning all skeleton warriors, rendering them unable to respond to Lin's commands. It seizes this chance to destroy 12 skeleton warriors in one attack. Lin says, "Even though I can summon my skeletons again after they've been destroyed, there's a limit to my spirit. That stun skill is too dangerous. I can't let it kill my skeletons anymore." To counter this situation, Lin summons the Undead General. When the Undead General comes out, it uses its military influence bluff, and the skeleton warriors who were stunned come back to their senses. Lin is surprised to find out that military influence can remove the stun. That's not all, it's shortening the stun time, but the effect is still the same. Lin is now confident, saying, "My skeletons have nothing to fear if your stun skill is useless." Now, all the skeleton warriors and mages attack the guardian dragon together with full power. The guardian dragon is now taking more damage, and its physique drops fast, with only 50% remaining. The guardian dragon again uses the crowd stun skill, but because of the Undead General's military influence bluff, skeleton warriors are not affected. Lin says, "It's useless when your control skill is gone. It's my turn to attack." But before Lin could command his skeleton warriors to attack, the guardian dragon flies and comes towards Lin to attack. Lin, not expecting this, immediately uses the ultimate skill, Soul Blaze. The guardian dragon uses the stun skill, but the skeleton armor blocks the attack, and Lin doesn't get stunned. Lin counterattacks with Soul Blaze, and all the skeleton mages also attack the guardian dragon. Lin says, "Now die, you demon dragon." The guardian dragon starts to burn in Lin's green soul fire, screaming in pain. But that's not the end. All the fire mages attack with fireball attacks. Finally, Lin kills the sentry post guardian, gaining 3.3 million experience points. He obtains the gold weapon, Hell's Sentry Post Blade, the gold weapon, Hell's Sentry Post Shield, Hell's Sentry Post Bracelet, and, at last, 2 dragon cores. Lin obtains a job transfer certificate and a unique title, Dragon War King. With the Dragon War King title, Lin's all attributes increase by 500, and all skill consumption is reduced by 50%. This title is obtained by solo clearing the hell difficulty of the Dragon Frontline post. Lin already guessed that the boss would drop the core, but he didn't think he could get the necessary transfer certificate for the second job transfer so early. Lin says, "Isn't the unique title of Dragon War King just way too overpowered?" Lin also levels up, and is now a level 23 Necromancer. Lin is happy that he is finally level 23, saying, "Now I've collected more than a quarter of the materials that are needed." Lin needs 10 Dragon's Heart, and 10 Dragon's Blood Essence, 10 Dragon's Horn, and 5 Dragon's Core. Lin currently has 8 Dragon's Horn, 4 Dragon's Blood Essence, 4 Dragon's Heart, and 2 Dragon's Core. After leveling up, Lin is now a level 23 Necromancer, with the title of Dragon War King. All his attributes have increased by 500, and skill cost is reduced by 50%. His average strength, physique, and agility are now at 900, and his spirit is at 25,000. He is equipped with a level 2 Thanatos Scythe. Lin's summoning space is 230, but there are only 210 summons right now, 140 skeleton warriors and 70 skeleton mages. In talent, Lin has 10x overall blessings. In passive skills, he has damage transfer. His active skills include level 23 Soul Blaze, summon level 23 skeleton warriors, level 23 corpse explosion, level 23 slow curse, level 23 skeleton armor, and summon level 23 skeleton mages. Lin also checks the attributes of his skeletons. Silver grade skeleton warriors are now level 23, with an average of 5,500 strength, agility, spirit, and physique. They have the Rage Strike skill. Silver grade skeleton mages are also level 23 with an average of 2,300 strength, agility, spirit, and physique. When Lin is about to teleport back, he says, "Even though it's quite difficult to fight in Hell difficulty, there's a lot of experience, and the equipment dropped is good. After my skeletons recover, I'll use the cooldown talisman and clear this dungeon on Hell difficulty again." Lin teleports back to the entrance of the Dragon Frontline outpost, but what Lin sees in front is a dry land full of monster and human corpses, with a strong stench of blood everywhere. Lin summons his skeleton armor as he doesn't know what happened there. Suddenly, abyss hounds attack Lin from behind, and Lin's skeleton armor stops their attack. Lin's skeleton warriors come out, and, using the Rage Strike skill, kill the abyss hounds that have surrounded Lin. Lin summons the Thanatos Scythe and gets ready to fight back, but suddenly someone attacks those abyss hounds from behind. They kill the abyss hounds near Lin and ask Lin to come to where they are. They are hunters from Sengxia country. While fighting, they tell Lin that this place has been taken over by the abyss hounds. A healer comes to heal him, but Lin tells her that he is not injured. The hunters tell Lin that they will block the hounds, so he should quickly use the transportation stone and get out of there. Lin asks them what happened here, and a hunter explains that the abyss released a great number of these dogs and surrounded them. Lin sees a country's party surrounded by abyss hounds. The Sengxia hunters tell Lin that their side has also suffered many casualties. The healer checks the people inside the dungeon and confirms that there is no one else left inside. The party leader decides to prepare to break through. The healer sees Lin still there and asks why he is still here. Lin smiles and raises his hand. The ground gets covered by green flames as Lin summons his skeleton warriors. Lin doesn't want to leave as he still wants to clear the dungeon. All the skeleton mages use their powerful spells, creating a huge blast with their combined attack. Abyss hounds were sent flying in all directions. The skeleton warriors started killing all the abyss hounds with their swords. The hunters were shocked and curious about where all these skeletons came from. The abyss hounds surrounded Lin and the skeleton warriors. The hunters were bewildered, wondering where these strong skeletons came from, and instinctively followed Lin's command to retreat behind him. Lin explained that he was going to use a crowd attack skill, and they might get caught in the crossfire. Lin then used the corpse explosion skill on the abyss hounds' corpses that the skeleton warriors had killed earlier. A massive blast occurred, killing all the abyss hounds. The hunters were shocked at the terrifying skill. Lin received a system message that his military merit reached 100, promoting him to a 1-star private. He obtained 1,000 points and 5 contribution points. Lin's weapon, the Thanatos Scythe, leveled up to level 3. Lin expressed surprise at receiving both points and contribution points. Lin decided not to let the hunters leave, even though he never planned to let them go in the first place. He used the corpse explosion skill again to kill the remaining abyss hounds. The hunters started speculating about Lin, thinking he might be a top student from a distinguished academy to solo clear the dungeon. They were amazed that Lin solo cleared the Dragon Frontline outpost in Hell difficulty. Lin received another system message that his military merit reached 200, promoting him to a 2-star private. His Thanatos Scythe leveled up to level 4. As the smoke cleared, Lin saw there were still abyss hounds left. He expressed disappointment that he could only kill around 200 abyss hounds, and hoped more abyss monsters would appear. Other hunters were scared, thinking about the sudden appearance of so many abyss hounds and fearing a large-scale attack from the abyss. A hunter named Shi Xing'an approached Lin and introduced himself as a level 31 paladin from Xiajing Academy. Lin greeted him and introduced himself as a level 23 Necromancer from Xiajing Academy. Shi Xing'an smiled upon finding out that Lin was a fellow junior. He asked Lin about his batch, and Lin, not being able to tell the time accurately in the UN battlefield, mentioned that he attended the opening ceremony yesterday. The hunters were astonished to learn that Lin was a new student. Hunters looked at each other and thought, are all the new students like this? Shouldn't a new student be level 15 or 16, and focusing on the academy now? The paladin smiled and said, Lin, you just entered the academy but have this kind of strength. No wonder you're at the Yuan battlefield alone and can even take on hell difficulty yourself. I'm very impressed. Lin downplayed it, and he asked the paladin why his party wasn't entering the dungeon. Another hunter from the paladin's party joined them, pointing out that the paladin couldn't tank the monsters well enough. They had tried nightmare difficulty and almost got wiped out. The paladin defended himself, saying he was only level 29 then and didn't have proper equipment. He mentioned that he was left with only the shield, and it wasn't sold anywhere. Once it dropped in the dungeon, and he completed his set, they could try nightmare difficulty again. The paladin turned to Lin and offered